Kingmakers, the game that sees you go back in time to a war-torn medieval England with a vast arsenal of modern weaponry, changing the course of history and saving the future in what the team is calling an action strategy sandbox game. Building your kingdom, grabbing a gun and leading an army of thousands into a massive real-time simulated battle in solo or co-op. It's developed by Redemption Road and published by tinyBuild, and today they finally released their brand new trailer alongside an early access release date. Now, we've heard about this game for the past 2 years, with little tidbits of information being shown, but not really too much solid and no news whatsoever of any type of release date. So this is completely out of the blue. Now, it's published by tinyBuild and the developer is Redemption Road. tinyBuild have got a ton of games behind them, so they've got a great publisher, and Redemption Road, they don't really have too much of a development history. But the brand new trailer has showed a completely different angle on the game. It looks really intriguing. I love how we're going to be able to control our own armies and also get down straight into the battle. And it seems like there's going to be a seamless transition between those two. Now, the brand new trailer is out now. Let's have a look at this. It's only a minute long, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the trailer and what the changes and features are looking like so far. Now, that new trailer is awesome. There's some old footage in there that we've seen before, such as the tank driving through the buildings, same with the old-fashioned car, and then a few of the little scenes of the castles. But there was also a hell of a lot of new stuff in there that we haven't seen before, like the melee combat being up close and personal. That is very interesting. I do like that we're going to be able to have that access as well. We can use some of that old school weaponry if we do wish to do so. We don't have to stick to the modern stuff and just tear down everything. What it does seem, though, is like they've removed things like the Apaches. You can't see any of that in any of the newer trailers. That's just in the original. Being able to call in a helicopter airstrike and planes, it did look really cool. Whether that's still going to be a feature in the game, I'm not 100% sure. Then there was also a really interesting bit about the... Then we got another look at the actual building segments. Now, there's not too much information on here, but as you can see, you've got your hood up in the right, which is, this looks like your buildings, and then obviously all the skull and crossbones. They are potentially either your dead troops or an army that is about to invade. But as you can see there, a weaponsmith has been built. We've also got 800 of something and then 2 health. I'm pretty sure that's just 2 lives. And then down here, we've got different sections. I don't know if this means we can build sort of walls here. We can build archers there, towers, catapults, all of that kind of stuff. Don't really know. But you can see buildings being placed, individual buildings. So there we see what looks like potentially a barracks. So are we going to need to do, like in some of those old school strategy games, you know, actually spend the time training up your units, and if it takes a long time, you're a bit buggered? Are they going to add that detail into this? Or is this going to be what looks like in the trailers, much more of a sort of hack and slash, blow stuff up and just have some fun, rather than any type of real strategy involved? Not 100% sure. We do know there is actually a storyline behind this as well. You are sent back in time because the world is taking a catastrophic turn. I believe it is in England, but you are sent back in time to the medieval era to change kings and make a new king, which will then change the course of history and make the whatever's happening in the future, which we don't really know anything about, not happen, basically. So, yeah, hopefully the storyline's pretty cool. I don't know if it's just going to be tiny little tidbits of a story or lore notes posted about that we read, or whether we'll actually play through a sort of missionized system where you go through, you've got to defend your battles and then build your kingdom up whilst defending it from rogue nations. Not 100% sure on what that's going to be like. So we don't really have too much information on the overall gameplay loop. All of the new mechanics that we've seen, such as being able to melee combat, and obviously we've already seen motorbikes, the tanks, all of that cool stuff. Then seeing the destruction inside buildings as well. We've seen that before, but not to such an in-depth level, using the RPGs and blowing down the towers. We've seen tanks and stuff blowing up the castles, but nothing really inside too much as what we've seen in this trailer. So it's overall pretty cool. A lot of new features in there by the looks of it. And that October the 8th release date as well is interesting. I don't know if they'll push that back. They don't really communicate with the community all too often. They've posted a lot on social media over the past few days, and they do that whenever there's something big happening, like a new release date or a trailer. Other than that, not much. The last time they posted was in March, and that was at the dev showcase at the Future Games show. And then before that was in December of 2024. We don't really hear much from them. I'm not too sure how many people are working on the game. I think it's 2 or 3. I don't think it's any more than 5. They're a relatively small studio. It's not a one-man band. But either way, so far, the game looks really interesting. I'm excited to just blow shit up and absolutely go nuts on everyone and pretty much be impenetrable. Whether we're going to see those guys switch a little bit later on to make it harder, or whether it's just going to be you with a very limited number of soldiers and you are picking up most of the slack, not really too sure. Obviously, if you've got thousands of soldiers and you're throwing grenades in there all the time and blowing everything up, then you could pretty much take it almost single-handedly, providing you don't run out of munitions. But how that's going to work, really not 100% sure. I'd love to see some more news on this over the next few months before it releases on October the 8th of 2025. What do you guys think? Is it going to be something you're checking out? I think definitely that co-op aspect is quite interesting. I don't know if there's going to be any plans for a sort of PvP section, but they have said that you'll be able to have 2 of you controlling different sections. So you'd be able to be on the ground while somebody else is above commanding the army. So I think that's, whether that's going to be a continual thing or whether you can both be on the ground or sort of one of the other, there's not really much clarification on that. They just posted a few videos on Twitter saying that you can do both in multiplayer. So quite interesting. That could create some pretty unique things, especially if you can go against each other and you've both got the armies and the modern tech. Whether there will be a PvP element, I really don't know. Would be quite cool though, commanding armies against each other alongside that modern gear. What do you think though? Let me know in the comments down below. For now, we're going to wrap that one up there. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If there's any other games you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments as well. I know we normally cover survival, but Kingmakers was some of that really caught my attention. It's just quirky. It's just a little bit different. It's not a game that you see every day. So very interested in following the development and the gameplay when it finally comes out on the 8th of October. Thanks for watching. I've been Wyatt, you've been awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.